We're upset that we lost muscle.
Well, it is, like I said, for 4 years, it has fluctuated, like a pound. I've never gained muscle in 4 years of lifting.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. No one actually takes themselves to a place where they're actually building muscle. But there's other benefits outside of like looks and aesthetics that building muscle can have for you. The number one thing that muscle does for you is it builds your metabolism. Fat burns about 20 calories an hour and muscle burns about 50 calories an hour. So if we can get you to build more muscle, it'll help you burn more calories, which will then make the whole weight loss process not only easier, but also more sustainable. Because muscle building requires heavy lifting, and if you have more calories, you'll have more energy to lift that heavy stuff. How have your energy levels been since you've added?
I feel
amazing.
Amazing.
Okay,
so much. I cannot believe how much better I feel.
What were you eating before?
1,800 to 2,000 calories.
And you're at?
2,800.
Wow, so you almost added a whole full 1,000 calories to your diet.
I've not gained any.
And I haven't gained any weight either, which is amazing. Losing weight is stressful on the body. Your body does not like to lose weight because it's a protective thing. So when you lose a certain amount, your body goes, if I keep going down this road, I will die. So then it says, I'm not going to lose any more weight. And the way that I'm going to do that is by adjusting how many calories I burn. Now here's the thing, is since you're eating 2,800 and your weight hasn't changed, that also means that you're burning 2,800. Okay, so if you're burning 2,800, now you subtract 500, you're eating 2,300, you should start to lose weight from that. Do you want to do muscle building? If you do a strength training program, I'm not going to sit here and be like, you're not going to gain any muscle. It's just the amount of muscle that you gain from a strength training program is going to be less muscle than if you were to do a muscle building program. If you did a muscle building program, would you gain strength still? Absolutely. But not as much strength as if you were to do a pure strength training program. Bodybuilders are not powerlifters, and powerlifters are not bodybuilders. It's two totally different sports. They exercise totally differently. In order to build muscle, okay, I'm a real Picasso. In order for this to grow, we have to break these strands. When you're talking about strength, this has nothing to do with it. Strength is about your neurological ability to produce force. Okay, force is a physics equation, mass times acceleration, right? So it has nothing to do with the actual tensile fibers of your muscles. Can I produce more force without tearing these? And the answer is absolutely 100%.
So you can build strength without building muscle.
Exactly. Okay, you're gaining strength, which is awesome. If you get stronger, you'll be able to build more muscle, and if you build more muscle, you have the potential of getting stronger. Like, they work together, but they need to be trained separately. Do you want me to take you through a muscle building workout today so you understand what it's about?
Absolutely.
Okay, here's a few things that you need to understand about muscle building and how it differentiates from strength training. If you achieve failure when you're doing strength training, you are strength training wrong. Process that. Strength is a neurological thing. It's your brain saying, hey body, you need to do this. You can train that signal. That's all about strength, that's all power, that's all endurance. Those are called the metabolic pathways. When you do muscle building, that is when you should be achieving failure. Your body is actually a very lazy creature. Your body's always trying to conserve energy. It doesn't matter what you're doing, your body and your brain goes, what is the most efficient way for me to do this to burn the least amount of calories? The first 8 to 12 reps don't do anything. They literally do nothing. 12, 13, 14, 15 reps do everything. Oh, I don't need to use every fiber of my bicep in order to lift this weight. And then as your body starts to fatigue, it recruits more and more and more muscle fibers to eventually get to the point where it's using all of the muscle fiber. When you get close to failure, that's when your brain goes, engage every fiber in your bicep. Now, when our goal is to get muscle growth and to break those fibers, we want every fiber firing. It hurts. Muscle building is painful. I can guarantee you that it is going to hurt a lot before you get to failure. What happens to people is they say to themselves, it hurts so bad I need to stop. Perceived failure. We need actual failure. You try and do a curl and it doesn't move. When it comes to muscle building exercises, there are good, better, best choices. Never squat for muscle building. You know what I would use? The leg press. When you're sitting in a leg press, you have a lot of stability from the machine so that you can focus on driving through the leg. Great choice for strength because it's a full body neurological thing, but not great for muscle building. So like pull-ups, horrible for muscle building. We're going to be putting you on a bench with support and you're going to be pulling with cables instead. Oh, that's why you don't like muscle building. Okay, so we're starting to learn now why she doesn't gain muscle on the scanner. You like to work fast. That's what you're telling me? But that's strength, though. It's not wrong. Again, neither of these things are wrong or right or better or worse or whatever. It's what are your goals? These are the things that we need to do to achieve those goals. There are two parts to the rep. There's the concentric and there's the eccentric. Now, before you answer, I want you to think back to the drawing I had over there, right? The muscles. And the goal was to tear muscle fiber. Important that you feel the tension here as you're going out. Like sometimes people will squeeze and they'll get the squeeze, but then they let their lats relax and then the arms will come out. But that's like we still need to be feeling tension through the lats all the way out. So go ahead and pull those elbows back. Now I'm going to push on your elbows. Is keeping tension in your lats, straighten your arms. Slow. You got to go real slow. I'm trying to teach you how to keep tension there. Now as your arms straighten, do you feel that?
Yes, it's hard. You have to focus not on your arms. You really have to focus on those legs.
Now when I come down, I'm squeezing my lats. I'm trying to pull those shoulders down as I then let that weight come all the way down and stretch back over the pad. Because that little last part there, that's going to be what builds you muscle. Good. Feeling the lats. Now hold that tension through the lats as it comes back down.
Yeah, I feel it.
Oh yeah, good. And then all the way back over the pad. Reach those arms to the floor.
God!
You're about 5 in. How you feeling?
Like shit.
Remember, it's going to hurt before you hit failure.
Hurts already.
Do you see how this can differentiate from...
See where I'm stopping?
That's okay. I was going to say, you're hitting that failure point, right? So now here's what you need to do, is you need to get a notebook. You need to write down hammer strength row machine. You are at 0 pounds. You did 7 reps. I will tell you right now...
Strong.
You are. Like, wait, hold on. I don't like hearing you talk like that because it's one of those situations where I hear that and I go, does she actually understand what's happening right now? Because you are strong. You just aren't, you haven't been building muscle. That's not what you've been doing. Let's say I did this exercise for strength training. That's just not what's going to help build you muscle. I would argue that you're really strong. It's a different mindset. When you're in a calorie deficit, your energy levels are just lower. It is what it is. It doesn't matter because you're going to suffer your performance a little bit anyway because you're cutting calories.
You just have to accept
Yes,
that
exactly.
You're not going to be, which is okay because like I said, I'm not trying to be a bodybuilder or
I'm going to tell you right now
or anything. I just want to be able to move when I'm 90.
Sure.
And kick the other old lady's ass.
When you're trying to optimize building strength and building muscle, a calorie surplus is going to be optimized for that. Who wants to lose weight, who's okay with being put into a calorie surplus because they gain weight from it. Most people aren't even willing to do what they need to be doing to optimize it, so it's already going to be suboptimal anyway. Honestly, you can build muscle in a calorie deficit or you can build strength in a calorie deficit. It comes back to what do you want out of your program. If your goal is mainly weight loss for like right now, do something you enjoy doing. Do you understand what I'm saying? If your goal is weight loss, that's going to be nutrition based anyway. So like do whatever you want. Like you could do unconventional training, you could do power training, you could do endurance training. I would honestly recommend do something you enjoy doing because while you're in a calorie deficit, you're going to be at a higher level of stress. I've done phases where I've done 6 weeks of foot training. I do programs where I do nothing but foot strength, but that's because I don't care about my weight anymore. You're going to run through tons of different things over your career, so it's like experiment, see what you like the most. If you fucking hate the shit out of this, you're not going to stick with it, so we won't do this then. Do muscle building then. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay. If I wrote a program for him and I wrote a program for you that was the world's best muscle building program and it was 6 days a week, you wouldn't even be able to do it. If that's muscle, you want to see the muscle going up on the scanner, that's fine. This is how we have to lift. If you want to see the numbers on your deadlifting going up, that's fine. We got to focus on that then. It sucks because you want everything. When you're brand new, you will lose body fat, you will gain muscle, you'll gain strength, you'll gain everything. But that peters out because you're brand new to exercise. That's why. Okay, well, you've been exercising for 4 or 5 years. You're not new anymore. So now you have to pick something, hone in on it, do it for a certain amount of time, and then maybe cycle it in later in the year. I always cycle my stuff. If your goals are not strength oriented, I wouldn't pick bench press. If your goals are muscle building oriented, I'd pick dumbbell bench press. There's a reason we're using this instead of doing a barbell row because you're supported. You can focus on here. It's just the muscle that you want to work. A lot of people who first get into the fitness space, like if someone's brand new to exercise, they don't know that you can train differently to get a different effect. Come on, girlie, pull it. See if you can get it up there. Try really hard. Pull, 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 pull. That's still a rep. You gotta do another one now. Typically, rest periods are pretty strict, but you don't want to take too short of a rest where you're not recovering at all. And he was telling this story about how someone came up to him and was like, you have an amazing body. How do you do that? I go to Orange Theory 6 days a week and I still don't look like you. He said the exact same that I've always said. said, the heaviest dumbbell they own there is 50 pounds. Orange Theory, F45, they don't have weights heavy enough for you to actually continue to make progress. People who are brand new, of course they're going to see progress. They're lifting something compared to nothing. Obviously they're going to build muscle from that. After a certain point, when you hit 4 years of lifting, that 10-pound dumbbell doesn't do shit for you anymore. Does that kind of make sense?
That's it.
Wait, was that failure now?
6.
I didn't see failure. I thought I saw you complete that rep. Go ahead, do another one. Yep, we're going to do one more, okay? One more, all the way up. Get up there, up there.
Oh my god.
That was failure. So do you understand why people don't want to muscle build?
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
It sucks. That's what I tell people. That's why I don't like building muscle. That's why I do strength training. So here's the biggest thing that I want to talk about this with Machine very, very quickly before you get. There are safeties on this to allow you to fail. We can set this at different heights so that if you hit a failure point and you're trying to push those legs and they don't move, at least it's sitting in a place where it's not going to kill you. What part of your body, specifically your legs, do you want to work on the most?
Oh, glutes and hammies.
When it comes to stimulating a body part, the range of motion is going to be the most important thing. Your hips, your glutes, affect how much angle is at the hips. So by having your feet up really high like this, it creates a very, very sharp angle at the hips, but it doesn't create a very sharp angle at the knees. Well, your quads affect how your knees are unbending. So when I'm down here, you can see my knees are bent more. That means my quads are going to have to work harder to unbend my knees.
Sure.
I don't think you're going to hit failure with this. I really don't. 15 or failure, whatever happens first. If you hit 15, you add weight. If you fail before 15, you stay at that weight until you hit 15. This is the moment that people realize they don't actually want to do muscle building.
Oh!
One more, you didn't fail. We're going to add more weight on there because you hit 15. Why would I want you to move slower? I would think that if you're moving slower, you'll hit failure faster. And that's their biggest issue with building muscle, is they bail too soon to actually make that change in their muscle tissue.